Well, we're outside here. Got a little tree there with a little bit of damage for all the excessive snow we got here. We're gonna bring it down. Got my saw, got my axe, got my vest, tourniquet. Got Brian running the camera here. So, unfortunately, we get one take. So we're gonna have to see how well this works.
We're gonna fell that tree the opposite way of the branches and the lean, correct?
Well, if you really want to, I guess.
Let's do it that way. Let's demonstrate a little bit of wedging here.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
We'll do it.
So there's the tree we're gonna cut. As you can see, the left side doesn't have any branches on it. The right side's full. It's also got a little bit of a lean off to the right there. So we're gonna drop that tree to the left. Let's go make it happen.
Okay, we're out here. We got the tree, got everything eyed up. Make sure everything's good around here. You got to remember, you're responsible for everything that goes on here. Make sure there's no other power lines in the area. Make sure there's no other cars. Make sure there's no other people. Nothing else that's going to be a variable that's going to affect how everything's going to go here. Do a quick check over the saw. Make sure it chain's tight. This has a toolless adjuster. Otherwise, bar nuts, loosen it up, tighten the chain, everything else like that. Make sure the fluids are good and everything else. Only two proper ways of starting a saw. One, you can put it down, put your foot into where the hand grip is, hold it, chain brake on, pull, pull, pull until it gets going. If you cannot do that because you're out in the snow, woods, anything else like that, put it between your legs, hold it between your legs. Good hand grip on the saw, brake on here, turn saw on, and pull. Chain brake working. There you go. So what we're going to do for felling this tree here is you need to pick out which direction you're going to get going on here. On most saws, they have some sort of, guiding thing here, normally over the top here. On this non-professional saw, they just have a guide here on the back side here. So you need to line up that line with whichever way you're going to cut it here. You're going to cut in, bring it all the way down, only not more than the third deep into the tree, third of the width of the tree. You're going to bring it in flat there, make your hinge. You want to make sure your hinge is square. Make sure it, where it meets is perfectly fine. Not undercut, not overcut. That controls how fast the tree goes and which direction it goes. Keep on working on that hinge. Make sure you get everything absolutely perfect. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come in from the back side of the hinge. You're going to do a plunge cut. Part of the saw you're plunging with is the front corner here. You don't want to be on the back corner. This is your kickback corner. So you're going to start it up, catch on the front edge there, bring the saw level, plunge it all the way in. You're going to bring it forward to bring you hinge 10% of the width of the tree there. It's probably going to be in about an inch or two, depending whatever. How thick that hinge is how fast the tree's going to go over. You're going to bring it all the way back. Leave yourself an inch or two on the back side there, depending on the size of the tree. So that way you can pull your saw out, the tree's going to stand. It's not going to fall, not going to go anywhere. You're going to go over to the other side. This bar will not cut through on one side. Go up, doing a matching plunge cut on the other side. After everything looks good, put your wedges in, set some pre-tension, cut out the back side of the tree, and then slowly use the wedges and the hammer to bring it all the way over.
Say we were out here and the wind changed suddenly and we decided this tree's not going to fall the way we want. If we have the hinge set and the part in the back still, we can let this tree sit for days, right?
You can let it sit for pretty much as long as you want. I mean, the whole weight of that tree is going to be sitting on the front hinge and on the back. That's why you got to leave yourself enough there so you can stand back and say, let's wait a minute here and let's figure out what's going on.
And you only get one shot to get the hinge right, because that's the direction it's going to fall, so that's the critical time to make the right decisions.
Only get one chance to make that hinge and make it do what it has to do.
You ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm ready to do this.
All right, I'm going to back away. I'm going to talk through it a little bit as Nate's doing it.
Yep.
So you might not get a super view of it because I don't want to be in his way or around him when he's sawing too much. But Nate's going to fell this tree, and it's going to be a good time. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right.
You want to come in here, take a look at this hinge. So we're going to put it right over into the garden area here. You know, everything looks pretty good on there. It's not undercut, not overcut. Everything should be good from there.
All right, what's the next step now?
Next step, we're going to do a plunge cut into here and you know, set our width of our hinge here from one side, bring it back, and then we'll do the same thing from the other.
All right, let's do it.
Well, as you can see here, we're going to use the chain brake to get her started and get plunged in there. You always got to remember to stay in the front corner of that bar there. The chain will kick back in you pretty hard. I'm going to do a little voiceover here instead of just music, because I'm sure no one wants to sit there and listen to music. Then again, you don't want to watch this at regular speed to see how long it goes. One of the challenges of doing a short bar through a bigger tree is you're doing your plunge cut through one side and everything's good like that, but when you come around to the other side, you really got to have a good visual idea of where everything is from the other side. As I plunge through here, I don't know if you're going to notice it all during the video, but I actually didn't get in on the same perfect level as the original cut there from the other side. It was going through part ways for a little ways there, but as I came through onto the back side there, I realized I was cutting a lot more wood than I should have been. But, you know, it'll be okay.
All right, so he's got his hinge made. He's got his plunge cut done. He's left a little bit bent in the rear to keep it attached. He's going to now start wedging this tree. I'm going to be here for a little bit as he starts getting some wedges in, and then as it starts falling, I'm going to back away. He's going to set a wedge on the other side.
Okay, I think we're pretty good on the wedge here. Now I'm going to cut off the backside here. I'm going to ask you guys to back up a little bit here just in case something goes crazy. And we'll get her done.
All right. Again, Nate prefers to use plastic wedges in case he does nick one with his saw. It doesn't damage the saw.
As you can notice here, when you cut back through the backside there, you got to make sure the wedges are far enough forward that you can put the saw into where the pocket is and clear back and forth between both wedges. As you're hammering the wedges in, you know, it's a nice rhythmic hammering. The tree does bounce, the tree does move. You need to get them to go in there good. The kind of wedges I prefer to use have little notches on them, so that way as they are hammering them in, they don't want to spring back on you. Depending on the type of wood, how soft, how hard, frozen or not, is how much of a trouble you're going to have to keep those wedges in there as you're trying to get everything done. But as you can see, things aren't going quite perfect here, and hilarity will ensue.
So what we're going to do here, like I said, these are some of my higher lift wedges here. We double stack them to give you that much of a lift here. If this ain't going to do this here, we're going to cut another notch and we're going to go higher up with some more wedges and we're going to see what's going on here. So why don't you step back there, Brian, and keep going.
I believe he has 2 wedges all the way in on this other side. I'm going to walk in from the back side here and take a look. I believe we're pretty safe over here. If you look, he's got them doubled up there and a singled one on each side. I think it's going to take a little more wedging to get this to go over. We're going to take a quick pause here and evaluate the situation, and we'll be right back.